Have you ever come across a story about someone whose faith was so powerful, so absolutely profound, that it could unite thousands of people to move, not just hearts and minds, but a literal mountain? Well, this is that story. This is the chronicle of Kruba Sriwichai, the Saint of the Lanna Kingdom.
Right from the beginning, his entire life was guided by this one powerful vow. This wasn't just a simple prayer. No, this was the compass for his whole existence, the spiritual anchor for every single action he would ever take. It was a declaration that would go on to shape the destiny of an entire kingdom.
Now, to really get a handle on the legend, we've got to go back to the very beginning. A beginning so extraordinary, it felt like it was announced by the heavens themselves. Picture this. On the day of his birth, a massive storm rolls in. Thunder is shaking the very ground, lightning is splitting the sky, and in that moment, a child is born. They named him Inthafuean, which means Indra's quake or heaven's tremor. It's almost as if the cosmos itself was heralding the arrival of a soul truly destined for greatness.
From a young age, his path was one of unbelievable discipline. After becoming a monk at 21, his entire life became a testament to self-control. We're talking about eating just one simple vegetarian meal a day and staying away from all worldly temptations. And through this incredible austerity, he cultivated a spiritual purity that people could genuinely feel. It earns him the revered title of Chao Ton Boon, a holy man, a living embodiment of virtue who would lead his people.
So, this deep spiritual authority he had built would soon be called upon to face something enormous, a challenge that people had considered impossible for generations.
I want you to imagine a sacred temple, okay? It's the very heart of your people's faith, and it's perched way up on a rugged mountain. But to get there, you had to endure a grueling 5-hour hike through dense jungle. For so many people, the elderly, the sick, the young, this journey was just an impossible barrier to their own devotion.
So, as Kruba Sriwichai was meditating on this very problem, a vision came to him. He saw a celestial figure, a sage dressed in white, who appeared and led him by the hand along a clear, wide path that snaked all the way up the mountain to the temple. Now, for him, this wasn't just some dream. It was a divine command. The path was real, and he knew he was the one chosen to build it.
And what happened next? What followed that vision? You can only really describe it as a miracle, not a miracle of magic, but one of pure, unified human faith. It's honestly one of the most astonishing things I've ever heard of.
So, on that historic day, surrounded by thousands of his followers who came from every corner of the kingdom, Kruba Sriwichai lifted a simple spade and struck the earth. That one single act, it ignited a fire of devotion. People just started showing up from everywhere, with the most basic tools, some with just their bare hands, ready to build a road to their God.
And the goal was absolutely staggering. We're talking about carving a road more than 11.5 kilometers long right through unforgiving mountain terrain. This was a task that professional engineers had already said was impossible.
And this is the part that is just mind-blowing. What they accomplished is an incredible testament to their faith. Using nothing but their own strength and devotion, this seemingly impossible road was finished in just 5 months and 22 days, a pace that just defies all logic. It really shows you what a united people, driven by a sacred purpose, can actually do.
And here's the kicker. You have to remember, the government had already decided this project was way too expensive. There was no budget for it. But this massive undertaking required 0 baht of state funding, not a single one. It was built entirely on donations, selfless labor, and the pure devotion of the people themselves.
But, the ability to command that kind of loyalty, to mobilize thousands of people on faith alone, well, that doesn't go unnoticed. And this immense spiritual power soon put Kruba Sriwichai on a collision course with the modernizing central government.
What you're seeing here is a fundamental clash of two worlds. On one side, you've got the ancient Lanna tradition. It's local, it's faith-based, and it has this deep reverence for its own spiritual masters, the Kruba. And on the other side, you have the new central government in Bangkok, which is determined to build a modern nation-state with laws, formal hierarchies, and centralized control. Kruba Sriwichai was standing right in the middle of all this friction.
So, from the government's perspective, he was basically breaking all the rules. He was ordaining monks without official permission, he was ignoring the authorities appointed by Bangkok, and technically by building the road, he was trespassing on protected land. The charges really represented this massive conflict between ancient tradition and modern law.
But here's the thing.
Every single time the authorities tried to control him, it just backfired spectacularly. When he was detained for questioning, thousands of his followers, this peaceful but determined saint mob, descended on the city to demand his release. And their actions didn't just free him. They turned him from a regional holy man into a national symbol of faith and defiance.
So this growing influence, it would ultimately forge a legacy that has not only lasted, but has actually grown stronger over time, cementing his place as a true legend of history. And just as his life began with this huge celestial announcement, that's how it ended too. On the day he passed away, another great storm raged, the skies thundered, and it felt like the heavens wept. It was the perfect mythic bookend to a life that seemed to exist somewhere between the earth and the sky.
And you can literally see the map of his enduring spirit right here. After his passing, his holy relics were divided up and enshrined in the most sacred temples all across the Lanna provinces. He wasn't just a man from one place anymore. His essence became a permanent, unifying part of the entire kingdom he had served so faithfully.
And this isn't just ancient history. His impact is now being recognized on a global scale. There's an official effort underway right now to nominate him to UNESCO as a person of world importance, recognizing his huge contributions not just to religion, but to social development, culture, and peace.
So in the end, we're left with this thought. That road, up Doi Sutep, it's still there, a monument of stone and earth. But the story of Kruba Sriwichai, it really challenges us to look beyond that. It asks us to think about the incredible, unbelievable power of unified belief. I mean, if faith can build a road up a mountain, what other, even greater things can it build for us all?